loves, this is Mystique and I welcome you to my digital sacred space. I hope you're happy, healthy and healing wherever you're watching from. Today we are looking at what is your first hug with your future spouse going to be like, what is going through their mind, what is happening around you. So those are all of the kind of details that we will be looking at in this reading. How is it happening? When is it happening? Why is it happening? I thought I'd do a soft reading for you guys since we have been doing serious topics. But yeah, let's start with the piles. Okay, so we immediately got 3 cards. So we have the wise one for group number 1. If you are drawn to this card, this is going to be your reading. Then we have the forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure. Do not worry about what it says, these are just cards. We will be looking at what is going on, so just pick whichever card you feel most drawn to. For the third pile, third group, we have the botanist, parenthood, legacy. This is going to be your reading. So take your time to select any one of these cards. That is going to be your reading. This will be group number 1, the wise one, the forgotten with group number 2, and the botanist will be group number 3. So those are your groups for today. Those are your piles for today. I'm also going to be reading some messages from thread paintings that I have picked out. I did these previously, so I picked out 3 for each pile, and I don't know which ones, what they look like or what they are, because I'm going to be choosing intuitively. So we will see together what the patterns are and what your future spouse wants to say to you at this time. So let's start off with the prayer. Firstly, I welcome you to my sacred space. It is such an honor to share your energy, to share my gift of channeling with you. I feel like it's been a long time since I did a reading, even though I have been doing personal readings and uploading on YouTube. It feels like I was on a long break and then I came back and you guys are giving me a warm hug and a warm welcome. Hopefully this reading will also be a source of comfort. So let's begin this prayer by calling upon your spirit guides, your future spouse's higher self, light beings, angels, ancestors that have the best interests of my group number 1, 2, and 3, my soul family. I call upon you with divine love and gratitude to please be with me as we move through the reading and channel messages for group number 1, 2, and 3. I ask you, dear spirit guides, to please give us correct and accurate information. I now cleanse this space. I now cleanse this space and the energy field of my soul family watching this. I ask any vibrations of negative emotions or any residual vibrations of hatred, anxiety, worry, doubt to leave my soul family, to leave this sacred space, as I do not allow any negative influences with the reading or the energy frequency of my soul family. I allow only positive frequencies, positive entities, positive non-physical beings that have the best interests of my soul family and me to be present with me in this space as I create this reading. I once again reiterate, I do not allow any negative beings, any negative non-physical beings to be present with me in this reading. Take a deep breath in, my love, and slowly exhale. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. I feel called to tell you that everything is going to be okay. I don't know who needs to hear this, but there was a spirit guide that asked me to tell you that everything is going to be okay. Maybe right now you feel like you're falling, like everything is falling apart, like you don't know what to do with your life. Maybe you feel directionless in terms of your career. And make space for the energy of my soul family watching this. Please protect this space. Please protect my group number 1, 2, and 3, my soul family, from any negative interferences. Thank you, Sacred Smoke, for cleansing this space and the energy of my group number 1, 2, and 3, my soul family. I ask you, dear spirit guides, future spouse, and the higher self of my soul family, to feel free to communicate anything, as this is a sacred space. This is a judgment-free zone, so that I can deliver all of the messages to your soulmate that is watching this reading right now. I now close this prayer by thanking my soul family. Thank you so much, my loves, for all of your donations, for your personal reading bookings, for being patient with me, for choosing me to do your reading. Thank you so much for all of your support in the comment section. I am so grateful that I have you guys to call my family. I'm so grateful that I get to do this on a regular basis. I hope you enjoy my readings as much as I enjoy creating them, and I will bring in even more new ideas, new topics. If you guys want any readings on a specific topic, feel free to comment down below in this reading. I will be checking those out, so let me know what you guys want a reading on, and if there are many people requesting, then I will definitely do it. And with that said, I now close this prayer. I bow down to my dear soul family, dear spirit guides, angels, your future spouse, your future spouse's highest self. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to do this reading, and I will now see you at your pile in a second. Hello and welcome, my dear loves. If you chose this group or this card called The Wise One, Tradition and Order. This is going to be your reading. So let's see what is the first hug with your future spouse going to be like. I am immediately feeling that your future spouse will love to hold you in their arms. I feel like they've wanted to hold you for a while now. But when this hug actually happens, but maybe because they held back, I feel like there is this feeling of restraint. I feel like they didn't want to make you physically uncomfortable by invading your space. But when this hug naturally happens, I feel like they feel lucky, they feel fortunate that you would allow them this close to you. For a small section of you, I feel like you could have gone through some S abuse or some kind of S trauma, and you don't like anybody in your space, or you don't like anybody touching you, which is of course understandable. But I feel like your future spouse is also very understanding of that, and they don't want to make you uncomfortable. So I feel like there is this feeling of restraint before the hug actually happens. Maybe for some of you, you could be the ones that are initiating the hug, and they'll just take you in. I feel like they'll just melt in your arms. I don't know if you guys, I did this reading called how will you melt your future spouse some time ago. I'm being taken to that reading. Of course, if you've already watched it, or if you don't feel called to watch it, please don't. But for some reason, maybe there are some messages in that reading, in that video for you. I also feel like it's a safe environment, it's a cozy environment. Okay, like I'm seeing like a dark room with some candles lit, it's warm, you guys are under a blanket or something. Like it's safe. Somehow it's safe. I feel like your future spouse has gone out of their way to create this safe environment. So let's look at your thread painting. Now I create these thread paintings for those of you that are new. I am a watercolor intuitive artist and an energy reader, so I incorporate a lot of art into my spirituality, into tarot readings. So if you guys know about candle wax reading, I do similar readings, but I do watercolor readings, meaning I basically use art and watercolor is my primary medium, and I create these thread paintings in my readings, and I had a lot of them, and I decided to use those to channel messages for today. Since this is a future spouse reading, and the specialty of thread painting is that it looks a little bit like almost like a mirror, so that is why I love these thread paintings. So immediately I'm feeling that there's something about you blooming in your future spouse's arms. I'm hearing this song. What is that called? It's by Troye Sivan. Hold on, let me just look it up. Yeah, I think it's called Bloom by Troye Sivan, and he sings in the lyrics, I bloom just for you. I bloom just for you. Yeah, that is how you and your future spouse feels towards each other. Both of you, I feel like that is how you're both feeling. It's not just one of you, but both of you. It's such a cozy feeling. It's almost like there isn't much to say, because I don't feel like you guys will be talking a lot, because when I tap into the energy, I don't feel like you guys are talking too much. It's just that you let the physical intimacy speak for itself, and I feel like both of you will make each other feel very special and safe when this happens. I feel like you guys will be very uncomfortable. There is no awkwardness, there is no sense of stranger like feeling, there is no sense of unfamiliarity. I feel like the moment you guys hug, you guys know that. I feel like you guys know that before you guys hug, because I feel like some of you would not allow someone to touch you that you don't trust, and I feel like this is just a very cozy, comforting kind of a hug. If you guys have seen those pictures, where like the couple is just cuddling and there is no S energy between them, you know what I mean? Like it's just so comfortable, like you guys are happy just being with each other, It doesn't have to be sexual all the time. Like it can be sweet and it can be safe, it can be comforting. Like that's the kind of energy this hug has. That's the kind of energy that I'm picking up. For some people, only for some of you, it could get sexual. Like if you guys kiss, you could start making out just because you guys are so close to each other. But I feel like it's like one group it could escalate, and then for the other group it might not escalate. Like things are staying as they are. Maybe you'll just tell them, okay, I'm going to sleep, something like that. Like it's like a sigh of relief after a long day of work. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling from this. I also feel like for some of you it could be during a time when you're sick, and maybe you planned a date with your future spouse and then you had to cancel at last minute because one of you was sick, and then the other person is going, surprising the person who was sick and turning up with flowers and medicines. Like it could be that you are on your periods if you're a female, and you're like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. I just, it's your first day, so you're really exhausted, and maybe you have cramps, but you don't want to go outside, and you're just like, okay, we'll just stay at home. And so I feel like you guys are having like a home date, and maybe you just chill, and your person puts on a movie, and when you guys are watching that movie, I feel like you end up like hugging each other. It feels very natural. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel artificial. It doesn't feel like you guys are trying to initiate some kind of physical intimacy. I feel like it kind of happens organically. There isn't much information that I'm being shown. Every time I tap into it, I'm like, they're not showing me everything, because I feel like your spirit guides don't want you to know everything about this connection. But let's pick out some cards and see some other information if it wants to come through. So anything about first hug with their future spouses for group number 1, please. See, like the cards don't want to come out. I feel like if you know everything, then it might not be as interesting for you. So maybe that is why they don't want to tell you. So we have the Knight of Wands reversed. Oh my gosh, your future spouse is going to be pretty turned on after some time, but they are going to hold back. They are not going to show you that cuddling with you, giving you a hug got them in the mood. I feel like they will not show you that because we have Knight of Wands reversed. So I feel like they'll hold their passion back. I feel like, I did say that, right? They are restraining themselves. I feel like it's very hard for them to stay away from you physically, but because they don't want to make you uncomfortable, because they are prioritizing you, I feel like they'll hold back a lot. Group number 1. We have the Temperance. Gosh, they think you're so beautiful. Even when you're sick, even when you're not looking your best, they think that you are so... Oh my gosh, the Magician. That's just confirming everything that I just said. They think you're so beautiful, group number. We have the 8 of Swords reversed. I feel like you could be questioning yourself, or you could be doubting yourself, is this the love of my life? I feel like you might not. I feel like one of you could have some trust issues, rightfully so, and you're like, is this person best for me? But I feel like before this hug happens, because they show you that they're actually considerate, that they're not actually in it just for the physical intimacy or just to use you, or use and throw you. Like it's not casual from their side. And once you realize that, I feel like group number 1, you'll be okay. I feel like after that you'll allow them in your space. But I feel like with the 8 of Swords here, you do not allow them in your physical space. Like you do not allow them to touch you. You do not initiate any kind of physical contact. Maybe maybe you're even cutting them off in the dating phase. You're like, no, I do not want to be intimate with someone I do not love. I feel like you guys, most of you guys, are old school. And also, I didn't mention, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you guys are group number 1 and you got the wise one. So I feel like your partner is very wise. They are traditional. They are they do live like conventional, kind of like the Hierophant energy I'm feeling from this card. Also, I'm feeling that you guys are very clear. Maybe some of you even cut them off. You're like, no, I do not want, like, I don't want to hold hands at this point, because you do not trust your future spouse in the dating. Of course, like, at that time you don't know it's your future spouse, right? So I feel like you might cut them off and be like, no, I don't want this. Like, I feel like you're very clear with your physical boundaries. I feel like at this point in time, when you meet your future spouse, you've developed clear physical boundaries, and you're very clear on what you like or what you dislike or what you're comfortable with. You're communicative of that. And your future spouse, even though they don't want to hold back from you, I feel like they will, because you've made yourself clear, and they don't want to override your boundaries. They don't want to make you uncomfortable by breaking a boundary, because boundaries are sacred, and they don't want to do that. I feel like they are scared of losing you, so they are not going to. I feel like when you first allow them to give you a hug, or when this hug actually happens and they hold you in their arms, I feel like you'll realize just how much they were holding back, just how much both of you needed that simple act of physical contact. That it's, like, I feel like, there's of course, that's special, first night and all that, first kiss and all that, those are special. I've done readings on them. But I also feel like simple acts of intimacy, like holding hands or, first hug, things like that are also very special, which is why I wanted to do this reading. And I feel like you guys are also realizing the same thing, is that, it's not so much about the what the things that happen in the bedroom. Being a couple has a lot to do with just wanting to be in each other's presence, wanting to bathe in each other's physical presence. And sometimes it has nothing to do with it's just that you have so much love for that person, and you enjoy simple things like holding their hands, or sitting on the same couch with them, or reading a book with them, even though you guys might not be touching each other physically. Those moments of intimacy, those moments of silence that are sacred, I feel like those are so special. And I feel like that is the level of comfort that I'm seeing for both of you guys in this reading. You guys are very comfortable with each other. You guys are, I feel like after this hug, both of you realize that the other person is not going to judge you, right? Like, the other person is not going to judge each other, and you guys will be more communicative and more open and more truthful. And you'll realize that, oh, wait a second, like, this person actually wants to listen to me, this person actually wants to comfort me. Especially if you guys, I just heard Band-Aid. Is that a song name? I don't know, but I just heard Band-Aid. Let's look at your last card and see. Wow, oh my gosh, oh my god. Okay, your future spouse definitely has it so bad for you. Group number one, your future spouse got it bad for you. They are holding their passion back. Do not mistake, just because I mentioned that, simple acts of intimacy, like, do not think that your future spouse will be content with that, because listen to me. Your future spouse wants more, but they are waiting for the red signal to turn into a green signal. Like, they're waiting for the green light, okay, so they can show you their passion. I feel like pleasing you in bed is something that they want, and they want to make your first kiss and first everything special, okay, especially kiss. I'm getting, let me know if you guys want me to do a reading on that. I did do a reading, I think I have, first night, first kiss, I've done those readings. So if you guys want to check those out, feel free to do so. But there's something about physical intimacy is very important for your future spouse. Okay, let me just put it out there. S is very important to your future spouse, but also it is not like that is the only thing they're looking for. You know what I mean? Like, that is not the only thing they're looking for. They actually care for you, they actually love you, and they don't want to make you feel uncomfortable at all. Like, that is the message that keeps coming through for you, group number 1. And you see how she's sitting with like her lion, right? That is how I feel like your future spouse sees you, a little bit kind of like this card. And of course we have the Temperance, we have the Strength, we have the Magician. So you have 3 major arcana. So this is big energy. This is I just heard big D energy. If you know, you know. Okay. But yeah, they see you as someone who's very feminine. I just heard ultra feminine. I feel like you're someone who's very strong, independent, but also at the same time I feel like your future spouse kind of wants to come in and be like, yo, you don't have to do this alone. You know what I mean? Like, they want to show you, they want to impress you in bed, group number 1. But of course it is only after you've given them permission. Only after that they will show you that they're passionate, because they don't want to scare you. They are very intense. I'm picking up some Scorpio energy from your future spouse. Scorpio, Leo, Aries, like some kind of a fire mixed with Scorpio or Pluto. But definitely a lot of fire energy for sure. And you could be like a water earth combination. So you could be a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. You could also be air signs. I'm feeling Gemini, Libra. Watching this reading, you don't have to be. This is just your energy that I'm picking up. And then they will show you the fire side of things. If you do not have a lot of fire in your chart, group number 1, they're going to show you what that fire is like. Like, your future spouse not desperately, but I feel like they will eagerly show you what they have in store for you, group number 1. I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't get into a lot of R-rated details on YouTube, and also, yeah, YouTube is very strict. So if you guys want to know any R-rated details, I do have some limited edition readings that are available. So you can just reach out to me and just let me know that you're interested in purchasing them. I will definitely help you out. I feel like they see you as a goddess, group number 1, and it's like they keep thinking of what it would be like to be with you, to sleep with you, and, you know, to kiss you, to hold you, like things like that, sensual things like that. But of course I feel like they will not tell you. I feel like the first time you guys are actually intimate, or like actually like it turns into something more like kissing and making out, and you guys are really hot and heavy with each other, that is the time your future spouse might reveal something or say something like, do you know how much I've thought about this? Do you know how many times I've thought about taking you into my arms and ravishing you? And that's the kind of thing your future spouse might say, because they've been holding back a lot, group number 1, like crazy holding back. With the Strength, I feel like they have a lot of passion, and they have a lot of stamina as well. They could go all night, they could hold you all night if that is what you wanted. Like, I'm also hearing the song All Night. What is that? All Night. I'm forgetting the artist's name, but I'll try to leave a link in the description so you guys can go ahead and hear the song. But yeah, that's what I have for you, group number 1. I'm going to end your reading here. I'm not getting any other. Oh, okay. The first time you're intimate, I can't go a lot into it, okay, because this is YouTube, but I just want to say that the first time you're intimate, you open their heart in such a way that they will feel like you've changed them forever, and they will like, there is no way I'm going back to who I was. You've changed me, you've altered me, it's like I'm literally seeing solar systems being moved and being edited into the universe, like into a galaxy. I'm seeing this, like, different planetary systems being changed or being altered. Like, that is how you are changing your life. And it's not that you're trying to do something, group number 1, but I just feel like the hold you have over them and the love that you feel for them is going to floor them, it's going to humble them, it's going to they're going to feel very honored to touch you. They're going to feel very blessed and grateful that you would allow them this honor of knowing your body, feeling your body, touching your body. And they don't just touch your body, they will touch your soul, because they want to show you that you've touched their heart. So they want to show you that as well, of course. And also, one last message is that they love how you smell everywhere. So I'll leave it at that. Group number 1, I hope you enjoyed this fun, soft reading. Hopefully I'll see you in my next reading. If not, I thank you so much for watching this one. I'm going to take the time to thank the cards, the beautiful sacred painting, and my beautiful pile number 1. I thank you so much for watching this one. Bye. Hello and welcome, my dear loves. If you've chosen group number 2, this is going to be your reading. Now, what I'm feeling from this card is that for some of you, your future spouse could be someone that is coming back from the past. Only for a small section of you, if you guys don't want, your ex to come back into your life, of course, then just please say no. But I feel like there could be someone who made the mistake of taking you for granted, who forgot you, and in return you forgot them and you moved on, and then they were like, oh, wait a second, group number 2 is actually leaving me, and then they come back to kind of apologize and make things right. There's something about this person though, there's something about this person, they did something that was not okay with you. Okay, group number 2, and you're just like, nope, I don't want it. And I feel like you could be reconciling, and that's when this hug happens. So let's start with your cards. For those of you that are not wanting your exes, what's happening for you guys. Okay, so before we look at your cards, let me take your thread painting. So I do have thread paintings for all 3 groups, and let's start, before we look at the cards, let's start channeling messages from the thread painting, and then I will, oh wow, something about this, I'm sorry for the pen stains because I was just writing down the songs just so I do not forget, and leave a link in the description. Something about this hug feels dry. It feels like, for those of you that this person really hurt you, or they this partner, this person did something that was not okay, and you're like, no, you're pushing them away. But I feel like there is also an attraction between the two of you. There is a connection, a genuine connection between the two of you. But I feel like there's something about you guys having learned your lesson, and you learning and understanding that chemistry isn't always important. Connection is more important. And if a relationship lacks connection but has chemistry, it's going to fizzle out and it's not going to last that long. And I feel like you've learned that because relationships that are based on chemistry aren't always stable and secure. They're not always safe because they're so volatile. And I feel like you're not looking for that at the time, with this person. So there is a sort of, I feel like you're apprehensive. I feel like you're hesitant on receiving this hug or receiving this person back into your life. Okay, this is for those of you that are with the exes. Now, for some of you, you might be like, no, hell no, I will never allow an ex-partner to come back and become my future spouse. More power to you, that's great, But for those of you that are willing to forgive, are willing to see that this person has made a mistake and their apology is genuine, and you're willing to give them a chance, I feel like that if that is the case, then the hug happens. If that is not the case, then the hug might not happen because you might not allow them in your physical presence. Group number 2, there's something that feels karmic. And don't get scared just because I say karmic, it doesn't always mean that it's something bad. But when I say karmic, I feel like you guys are kind of fated to be each other's mirror in this life. You guys are fated, destined to be with each other. It's a little bit like a more twin flame journey than a soulmate one, if I'm not gonna lie. And twin flame relationships can be difficult because the other person is constantly mirroring you, constantly showing you what you are unaware of or what is in your unconscious. They're triggering traumas that you had in your childhood, and it's like, oh, that is why it's so difficult. Twin flame relationships are so difficult, even though the chemistry is insane and everything is great, but they can be very difficult. I'm feeling that you guys are trying to meet each other halfway, so there is no imbalance because you don't want there. I feel like you might not like there to be imbalance. You want them to come to you because I'm being taken to this dotted line right here. Like, you want them to put in the equal amount of effort as you do, and I feel like some of you know that because the person is very immature, they might not. Okay, and I feel like your future spouse is going to have to learn a lesson. If you guys choose to marry them, then they will be a future spouse, but if they'll have to learn this lesson to not disregard you, not invalidate you, to not dismiss you. They'll have to learn all of those lessons before, if they want to come back into your life, before they come into your life. Okay, and I feel like your spirit guides are saying, don't give them the time of day if they are still toxic. Like, that is not your future spouse. Okay, if you don't want this, then don't give them the time of day. Don't listen to what they are saying. It's unnecessary. You don't have to, because even if this person leaves, there are other people that you are lined up with vibrationally that are good for you. So don't think that, oh, like, this is my person, if they apologize, I'm supposed to forgive them. No, you're not. If the apology feels genuine, and if you feel like it is right to forgive, go ahead and do that. But if you do not feel like it's right, you feel like they've done something really bad, then and you decide like you're still angry and you don't want to forgive this person, please don't. Just move on. That's not meant to be a future spouse. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing, and that is what your spirit guides clearly said. Like, do not allow yourself to be disrespected. Just because this is coming up in a reading doesn't mean that you just forgive and like everything is going to be okay. No, you do not forgive if they are not genuine with their apology. Do not forgive. So let's look at your cards. Oh my gosh, we have the Four of Swords. I feel like you've been alone or single for a long time. We have another 4, and then we have 10 right in the middle. Wow. And 2 plus 2 is also 4. So group number 2. I feel like you guys have been alone for a long time or been single for a long time. I feel like you're looking for something real, and casual relationships don't do it for you. Okay, so Spirit is saying that just be patient. I know if you guys have been single for a long time, maybe this is not the message for you. But with the Four of Swords and 10 of Pentacles, both of them coming out together with the Four of Cups right there, I feel like be patient. When I say patient, it's in the sense that, okay, if you're meeting someone and they disrespect you or they do something toxic, please walk away. That is not the person. And I'm being told to re-emphasize that message, because you don't want to be with someone just because you're alone. You don't want to be with someone just because you feel lonely, because you might allow things to get so bad before, and they might not get better. Like, it will be difficult. It's difficult to get out of toxic relationships because they are so addictive, right? Like the play of hormones, the play of chemicals, the up and down, it's very addictive. So it's hard to get out of a toxic relationship, and your spirit guides kind of want to caution you. Like, you don't want to put yourself, like, you've done well so far, group number 1, being alone or being single, or not allowing men to disrespect you or use your body in this hookup culture. You've done well, group number 2, and they're saying, just give it a little bit more time. You need to heal a lot of your wounds before you meet a person who is actually a match for you. You're self-respecting and self-loving enough to not choose something that is not for you, which is casual or hookup culture, right? And spirit guides want to congratulate you on that, for sure. It's like you've kept yourself safe with all of this armor. You've kept yourself safe. You've kept yourself hidden and away from prying eyes and malicious intent. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Spirit guides are definitely proud of you, group number 2. I know I keep saying that, but that is a message that's your spirit guides want to communicate very strongly here. But I feel like when the hug actually happens with a person, physical intimacy, any physical intimacy, even if it's simple like holding hands, when it happens with your future spouse or with a person who's actually special to you, actually loves you, actually respects you, it is always going to feel special. It is always going, and you're always going to love it, right? So instead of just giving yourself away just because you're lonely or alone, wait for some time, because this person will come, this 10 of Pentacles person who is perfect, who's a perfect match for you. And I feel like you're going to feel very fulfilled, you're going to feel very content, you're going to feel happy. It's this feeling of that, you know, like after a long day of work and you go home and your partner is there with a meal for you, a fully cooked, warm meal, home cooked. So that's the kind of feeling this is giving me. It's that kind of like, oh, you know, there's someone waiting for me, like there's someone that loves me, there's someone that cares for me, and they've gone out of their way to show that, to show that they're considerate of me. And it's that kind of feeling. I feel like the person that you end up hugging, your future spouse, your actual future spouse, they love to take care of you. They love caretaking. I feel like they're going to take care of you in small ways, like they'll make sure that the groceries are in the house if you got, you know, because you guys have been married. Like if you're busy with your job and you can't take care of the kids, they'll volunteer and they'll be like, oh, I can take a day off, you know, I can take care of the kids. I feel like it's like that. Like the cooperation and harmony between you guys is so nice, and they're so respectful of you and of your time. And 1111, as I say that, they're so respectful of your time, they're so respectful of your space and of your needs and of your wants. They will never make you feel like you're undesirable or you're unwanted. I'm not getting too much about how the first time you hug is, you know, happening. I feel like your future spouse is holding back a little bit because they want to keep it a surprise. You know, you see how his eyes are closed to this cup and he's focused on the 3 cups down here. So it's giving me that kind of a feeling. Yeah, I'm so sorry, group number 2, if you don't, you know, hear me talking too much about the first hug. When, you know, how is it happening, when is it happening? I'm not seeing too much of it at the moment. I feel like your future spouse is not showing me a lot. Instead of filling the reading with endless words, I thought I'd just be honest with you. They just said it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. I feel like you're going to feel protected and sheltered. The first hug, I feel like, happens for some of you after your first kiss. So after your first kiss, I think you might just hold each other and hug each other because you guys don't want to disengage, you know, from the physical. I feel like both of you enjoy physical affection. Non-S physical affection is something that both of you enjoy. And they'll love to just be in your physical presence. They love to touch you. Maybe they like simple things like getting your hair out of your face, or, you know, fixing your top or shirt, or holding your hand or touching your hands, or locking their legs with yours. If you guys are sitting on the same couch, both of you are doing your own work. Maybe, you know, one of you is in laptop and the other is watching a movie, but you guys are like locking hands or locking fingers, like something about you guys wanting to be connected physically, but you guys are minding your own business. Like you guys are doing what you want. You guys are focused on your work, but there's something about wanting and needing to be around each other all the time. I also feel like your future spouse could own a cool car. I don't know why that is coming through. Could own a cool car. For some of you, the hug happens in the car. Maybe when you're leaving, like after a date, and they're saying goodbye and they're like, can you give me a hug if that's okay? Would you, you know, and it happens because some of you might say yes, so it happens. Yeah, and after that, you are stuck in your future spouse's brain. You are stuck. You are running in their mind, group number 2. I feel like they will not be able to stop thinking about this date and this. I feel like they do enjoy giving you a hug, group number 2, but I feel like they enjoy other things more, if you know what I mean. They're waiting for you to. It's a bit similar to group number. I'm so sorry for the noise. It's a bit similar to group number 1 slightly. Maybe you were drawn to group number 1. I do not know. But there's something about wanting more physical intimacy. Of course, I'm not saying they will make you uncomfortable or they will force it. They want to emphasize that they will not force anything, okay? If you are uncomfortable, just say stop and they will definitely stop, okay? But I'm just seeing here that they want to make you blush, like they want to make you red, like they want to make you shy, by the desire that they have within themselves for you, because they've been holding back for quite some time. And the moment you, things are progressing slowly between you two, okay? So, maybe you guys go on a date, and after some time the first kiss happens, after some time the first hug happens, you guys make out, and it's like things are progressing very slowly, and as much as it agonizes them and kills them inside, they're going slow, they're waiting for you. And I feel like some of you might do that deliberately just to tease your future spouse, and you're like, nope, you're not coming into my house. Like I see a couple after a date, and the person, the masculine is kissing the feminine, and the masculine kind of like questions with his eyes, can I come in? And the feminine is like, no, you may not, you cannot. And even though the divine masculine knows that you're doing this deliberately, like you're just teasing them, I feel like both of you really enjoy it. So when things do get heated, okay, really intimate between the two of you, oh my god, prepare to see stars, group number 2. Like prepare yourself. You might not be able to walk straight the next day. Just prepare yourself, okay? Just have some balm or something. Have some spray, pain relief spray. Because they want to fold you like a pretzel. Yeah, that's all I will say. I cannot say too much on YouTube. Yeah. My voice just dipped. It just turned into a whisper after speaking so loudly for some time. I feel like your future spouse is like, shh, keep it hidden from group number 2. Do not tell them what I have in mind, what I have in store for group number 2. And they're like, hiding from you, group number 2. But of course, I'm your reader, so I'm going to expose your future spouse. Because I'm here for you, group number 2. I'm here for you. I support you. I love you. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe if you don't want to know, it's totally okay. If you want to know, I do have very R-rated 18+ limited edition readings. Some of them are available, so if you guys are interested in purchasing those, let me know. Just email me on the email address in the description and I will get back to you. I'm also feeling that your future spouse will make it look like they're very calm, okay? And whenever anything physical happens, they'll make it look like they're very calm, but inside they're just chaotic and dying. But on the surface, they'll look calm and they'll be like, but inside their hands are shaking, and so they might put their hands behind your back or on your waist, so you don't see. They don't want to show you that they're nervous. They want to show you that they're cool and they're experienced and they can handle this. Yeah, but don't let that fool you, group number 2, because they are dying inside. They are nervous inside, nervous as hell. They'll hide it. They'll hide it well from you. But don't be fooled, because now you heard it, okay? Now you know, group number 2. So yeah, that was it for your reading, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed this read. This was one of the most fun future spouse higher self readings that I have done, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you want to book a personal reading with me or are interested in purchasing any 18 plus readings, let me know. Hit me on the email �mystique_tarot28@gmail.com. It's in the description. I take the time to thank you, to thank your future spouse, their higher self, your spirit guides, the sacred painting, the sacred cards. Thank you so much for allowing me the honor to read for my beautiful and handsome, amazing group number 2 today. Hopefully I'll see you in my next reading. If not, I thank you so much for watching this one. Bye. Hello and welcome, my dear loves. If you chose group number 3, this is going to be your reading. We are starting off with your card called the Botanist. I feel like your future spouse loves giving you hugs. I feel like it will just happen. Like the moment you wake up, they'll give you a hug, a bear hug. There could be a size difference or a height difference between the two of you. The masculine could be taller and the feminine could be shorter, or vice versa. But the person who is taller, or the divine masculine here, loves grabbing the feminine energy in a hug. Loves it. Loves it. I wish I could explain, but they're not saying anything. They're like, I love it. I love it. So that's what I'm seeing. So let's start with your thread painting, and then we will look at your cards as to what is going on when you hug your future spouse the first time. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, you could be suffering, or this is not a time in your life that is good. And that is not to say that bad things are coming, but you need help with something, and there's something about you not asking for help. I feel like you guys are like the strong type, okay? The strong, silent, resilient kind of type, and you guys don't, especially if you are the feminine, I feel like you do not ask for help. And I feel like you might end up accidentally crying in front of your divine masculine, which is your future spouse. And your future spouse is firstly surprised by that, but then they're like, oh, I understand why group number 3 is crying. And they'll immediately just get you in a hug, and they'll be like, oh, you know, you don't have to cry, you don't have to worry. For some of you, your first kiss could happen after this hug, but for some of you, I feel like if you are the feminine, you could get turned on, you could get WET from the hug, because the S passion, the S energy between the two of you is absolutely fire, okay? Hold on, let me just sink into both of your energies. And I feel like the person who is turned on, which I think is the feminine is going to be like, oh wait, why is that happening? Why is my body having this kind of a reaction? Because it's your future spouse, that's why. But at the time, you know, you don't know that that person is your future spouse, because I feel like this happens before you guys get married. So you're like, oh, why am I feeling this way? I'm feeling some type of way. Ariana Grande, some kind of, I could give you this PUSS, you know, thing. 9 to 5, 5 to 9. That's the song I'm picking up from. This energy. You guys, if you are the feminine watching this, wow, your S energy is just so good. It's off the charts, and it would be impossible to stay away from you. At least if I was your boyfriend, I wouldn't stay away from you. But yes, your S energy is just immaculate, you know. I'm also feeling that your future spouse is like that match for you, okay? Is a match of that. And that is why I feel like you don't expect your body to have the reaction that it does. Oh, I just saw a library. Maybe some of you are meeting your future spouse in a library, or this hug happens in a library. Oh, I'm seeing, okay, Spirit is showing me very specific thing, like you're reaching up okay, to get a book that is on a top shelf and you can't reach, and then the divine masculine kind of comes up from behind and cages the feminine like that, you know, like one hand is here and then the other, oh, I'm sorry, the one hand goes here and the other hand kind of envelopes the feminine and they get the book. Okay, if you guys have seen, I saw this, where did I see this? If you guys have seen a K-drama called True Beauty, the main characters of that K-drama, like, this is what happens. Like, she's trying to get the book and then he comes up from behind and he takes the book from her. But he takes it from her. I feel like that is not what your future spouse will do. Your future spouse will give you the book that you were reaching for. Yeah, there's something about like library, Virgo, Mercuric, Gemini kind of energy coming through. Maybe you guys are my intellectual dorks, you know, maybe you guys are like my book reader pile. You guys could read philosophy or psychology or self-help books, self-growth books, shadow work books, spirituality. There's something about you coming off as very refined, sophisticated. You know how Virgos are, like, if you they are mostly in their workwear. There's something so orderly, something so routine, you know, they have a regime, they have a routine, and there's workwear. Like, if I could describe Virgo, it would be through workwear, like blazers and shirts that are crisp, you know, ironed button-down shirts with trousers, pants, with shoes. It's very formal attire, right? Like, that's the kind of energy that you guys have. You guys could be Virgos, you don't have to be. But that's just the kind of energy I'm picking up. If you are not a Virgo, you are still someone who's extremely intelligent and intellectual at the same time. And I feel like that could be something that your future spouse gets attracted to. Your future spouse could be the same as you. I mean, that's the whole reason why you could be meeting each other at such a place. But it's not even like a hug. I feel like your future spouse just wanted to talk about that. The real hug happens in a safe space. After a date, for some of you, after some kind of a date, I feel like you could kiss them on the cheek, or they kiss you on the cheek, like a lip kiss. I don't see a lip kiss happening, like a proper kiss, but they could give you a hug. Yeah, they could give you a hug. Just as a goodbye. You guys could also, like, there's something about you being very Virgo, Capricorn like. Okay, Saturn energy I'm picking up, Earth energy I'm picking up, but then nobody would guess that you are a freak. Group number 3, but I feel like you are. And it's okay. It's amazing. It's perfect. I feel like your future spouse might be, they want to see what's under that solid, controlled exterior. Like, they want to see you out of control. Okay, so I feel like the first hug and all that is special, but what they really want to see, as you can guess where I'm going with this, what they really want to see is you just on a bed full of pleasure. Okay, that is all I can say. I cannot say too much. Yeah, but they want to see that. Okay, they want to see you let go of that control that you hold on for so long. Maybe some of you are like CEOs or leaders of your company or something like that, and like, you know, you have to be very much in control, and then with your future spouse you're letting that go, and your future spouse literally eats up every second of that. They love being in control. If that is what you want, if that is what you enjoy, I feel like they love taking on the more, I just heard daddy. They'll take on the more dominant energy, if that is what you want. If you would like to be the more dominant one, then they'll be okay with that. But if you would like to be more submissive one, then they'll be okay with that too. I feel like they'll be okay with whatever, but just communicate with them. I feel I feel like there's something about your first kiss as well. I feel like you don't, because I'm just seeing this as lips, but they are far away. You could see a butterfly, like, it doesn't matter. But what I'm being shown by spirit here is a kiss, and you don't let them kiss you. I feel do you guys know about that viral video where Camila and Shawn Mendes agree to kiss each other on stage, but then she doesn't kiss him? That's the vibe. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. I feel like, you know, like they might think like, oh, you know, Virgos come off as very like pure and innocent, as if they don't know anything, you know what I mean? Like, but they're the freaks. They are such freaks. So that's what I'm feeling. I feel like once you start teasing your future spouse is going to be like, oh, okay. I see where this is going. Okay, a lot of cards for you. Let's get into it. So we have 4 of Cups. Reversed. Your future spouse has a hard time holding back. Group number 3. Oh my gosh. I feel like they want to see in you. Sorry for the explicit message. I can't get into too much of that. We have the World, we have Judgment. Oh my god. If you tease your future spouse a lot, they will get revenge. They will get sweet, sweet revenge. Group number 3. I'm hearing the song Violet Crazy by 𝑑𝑃𝑟. Okay, I'll leave a link for that, but I'm just hearing. I feel like when you touch your future spouse, there are like, you know, those scenes in movies where there is like this whole orchestra starts playing when the girl walks in, and the guy just loses his ish over the girl. Like, that's the kind of feeling I'm getting. Like, when you walk into the room with your lingerie, or you take off your something, you know, top or your shirt or something, like, and your future spouse sees you for the first time, I feel like their heart stops in their chest. Okay, in a good way. Their heart skips a beat. Like, this is what you were holding back from me. Like, I feel like there's almost like this cute anger coming through from your future spouse. Like, you made me stay away from you, and you're so beautiful, and you're so irresistible, and you're so handsome, and why did you do that to me? I'm going to get revenge now. And they just like want to do whatever they want to do to you because they've held back for too long. We also have the 8 of Wands, which talks about, you know, speed, like coming in fast. So I feel like your future spouse might not be able to hold back with you. Group number 3. Your future spouse could have some Aries energy, some fire energy, some Libra energy, Saturn energy. I feel like you are the person, or there's one person in the relationship that looks more tame or orderly or control, and then the other person is just wild fire kind of energy, right? Like Aries. And it's a good match because the person who is like earthy and quiet and on the shyer side, maybe, you know, they can match that level of fire. It's just that the other person doesn't know that you can do that, you know. I just heard my little acrobat. Okay, enough with the R-rated messages. What do we have? We have the Judgment. They love your chest. I'm just getting so many S messages. Like, I was not, this is not an S reading. I was going to do like a soft reading, you know, first hug, but if future spouse is just like, they love they love your chest, they love your legs, they love your thighs. Because look at these 2 cards. What is going on? This is not an S reading. Can we get some messages on first hug, please? It's like you have to control your future spouse. Like, you know, like, control yourself. Not right now, not tonight. Like, I see you being very sassy with your future spouse. Like, not right now, not tonight. Maybe after a month. And your future spouse is like, a month? Of course you're joking. I think you're joking, but you might mean it. there's like a slight sadistic edge. It's like they might think that if you're a Virgo, or you come off like as very pure, or maybe you're inexperienced or not as experienced as them, then they might think, oh, you let them do whatever they want. But that is not the case. You are the one who's leading the S intimacy, so you're like, nope, this is how it's done, like this is what I want, this is what we're going to do, this is what you're allowed to do, this is what you're not allowed to do. I feel like you're very clear with your words, and that turns them the F on. Okay, it turns them on. Group number 3. Oh my gosh, like I wish I could say all of like the R-rated things I want to say that are coming through right now, but I really can't. I'll just say, once things progress and you guys get to the bedroom level, you will not be able to keep your hands off each other. I'll just say that. You won't be able to keep your hands off each other. You will be as obsessed and crazy for them as they will be obsessed and crazy for you. Group number 3. I feel like your S life is just on fire. It's bomb. It's amazing. People will be envious of your S life. That scene in Mr. and Mrs. Smith where they have S for the first time, and then because of the noise, the neighbors start knocking and they're like, are you guys okay? Like, is something happening? And the neighbors are like, and Brad. And both of them just open the door and they're naked with a tie, and she's in a bed sheet, and then they're like, oh, okay, so you guys were having, okay, and then they kind of just leave. That's the kind of vibe I'm picking up from you guys. You guys don't just keep each other up, you guys keep the neighbors up. That's like, some neighbors might be annoyed with you. Group number 3. I'm not gonna lie, they might get annoyed with you. They're like, what is up with the noises? And you're just moaning and screaming like crazy. There's also a similar scene in Pamela Anderson's, there was a show with Lily and Sebastian Stan, who's playing Tommy. I forgot the name of the show, but basically it's the life of Tommy and Pamela, the love story. And when they get married and they shift into this new house, they are having S all the time, and there's some kind of construction going on. Okay, he's hired like a bunch of men for construction, and they can hear everything, and they're just like, wait, that was happening in the morning? Like, it's 7 a.m. right now, what's going on? And they're like, yeah. And then the other person is kind of updating the new construction worker, like, oh, this happens all the time, like, this is nothing new. That's the kind of vibe I'm picking up from you guys. I feel like somehow people are going to know, not because they see you, not because, it's not that you're wanting to show that off, but they just know. Everyone knows, because I feel like the way you guys look at each other and stare at each other is so smoldering that people are just going to be like, oh my god, just get them a room, just leave them alone. Can you guys not look at each other for 5 minutes? Can you guys keep it together for 5 minutes? And I feel like you guys are just effing the other person. Like, you've already stripped the other person in your mind. That's what's going on. Wow, this is like the spiciest read. One of the spiciest reads that I've done. I asked them messages about first hug, and they're like, nope. Okay, your future spouse's higher self, or someone just said, you are my heart. Group number 3 is my heart. They cannot wait to hold you. Group number 3. They cannot wait to hold you. They're saying, I know I took this reading on a very S kind of level, but I want you to know that that's how we're going to be. That's how life is going to be with me. I'm going to give you the passion that you always dreamed of. And you're going to love it. I hope you love it. I hope you love me. I hope you see that, oh, I see why your future spouse wants to give you like the S life of your dreams, because they're secretly scared, or they feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they're slightly insecure. That's not a bad thing, but it's just something I'm picking up that your future spouse might suffer. Like, they want to be good enough for you, group number 3. Aww. Please don't ever be mean to this person, because this person will just shatter. Because I can see that you're very sassy. I can see that, but I also see that you're very considerate. But you know, if you are not careful, you might break this person. Like, your future spouse comes off as very strong, but you are the person holding all of the reins. You are the person in control. As you can see, there's the feminine on the horse, so the feminine is the one who's controlling all the reins. It's just that the masculine looks like the boss or the leader, you know, but behind the scenes, you are leading, you are in control. Like, everything and anything you say goes, and if you don't want something, we don't do it. Like, that's it, period, end of story. I hope you like this reading, group number 3. If you would like more R-rated, juicy, spicy details, I do have some explicit S-based limited edition readings only for 18 plus audience. Okay, if you are 18 plus, if you would like to purchase those, you can reach out to me on �MystiqueTarot28@gmail.com. The email address is in the description. If you would like to book a personal reading, it's the same email address. I am so glad I did this reading today. My heart is just so happy. I always love when these kind of energies come through. I'm so happy that you guys are a match to such beautiful people, such beautiful spouses, and your life is going to be happy. It makes me happy to see that you will be happy, group number 3. So I take the time to thank you, to thank your future spouse, their higher self, to thank all of the beautiful cards, the sacred painting. Thank you so much for allowing me the honor to read for my group number 3, and I will see you in my next reading, hopefully. If not, I thank you so much for watching this one. Bye.